Two friends are in love with the same woman who, unknown to them, has a dangerous plan for both of them. What if the people you trust the most were working with your enemies? Meet Demi and Kanla. They are in love with the same woman, and at the same time, their fashion empire has become the target of a deadly criminal. How far will they go to protect that which they've built? And who will they trust in the end? Let's get into the movie. Introducing Kanla and Demi, the confirmed boys who are the crux of chopping life. They share their apartment together at night and work in their fashion studio by day. Demi walks into the fashion studio. He peeps his phone and sees the text message Dupe, his cousin, sends him about needing a new dress. He's called out by Nadia, his previous one-night stand, who is clearly avoiding. Nadia asks him why he's avoiding her, if it is because of his commitment issues or if she's not just good enough. Demi expertly avoids her question and asks how she is. Nadia answers, but insists on him answering her question. Demi continues to share pleasantries with her as if he's not hearing her questions. Nadia sighs as she asks him over for lunch, but Demi insists he's busy and walks away. Demi walks into the tailor's corner to see chaos. Rashid, the head tailor, is screaming and ordering commands at the rest of the tailors. Demi approached him to ask what is going on. Rashid replies that Kanla has changed the design description he gave them earlier. Now they're going to start from scratch. Demi is surprised to hear this. He apologizes to Rashid and promises to speak to Kanla about the change. Demi goes to Kanla to talk about the change in designs. Kanla isn't bothered with the confrontation. He tells Demi the new designs are far more better than the earlier, but that is the least of Demi's worries. Demi reminds him how they are low on funds, and Kanla replies that isn't that a part of the business he's supposed to handle. Demi tells him that is why he's meeting with Yinka to get them a business consultant. But before then, they need to cut costs. Kanla apologizes and promises this is going to be the last design he changes. He shows Demi the latest designs and doesn't let Demi go until he smiles and agrees that the designs are fire. Demi reminds Kanla before he leaves the office of his father's birthday party. Kanla promises to attend and Demi adds that the event is black tie. He should please be formally dressed. Demi excuses himself and missed the birthday party to pick up Dupe's call. He asks her where she is and she answers that she will soon be there. Demi tells her Kanla is on his way too and Dupe bursts his bubbles. She informs him his old man had uninvited Kanla. Demi clings his cutlery to his wine glass to quieten the party as soon as he gets off the call with Dupe. He starts to appreciate his father, Mr. Holloway. He chips it in that even though his father is always in trouble when things aren't done his way, Mr. Holloway cuts him short immediately. He says if Demi doesn't have anything to say, he should sit down and let people do the talking. Demi angrily replies that why doesn't he just let people do their things? And he invited Kanla, his brother and business partner, to the party, only for him to uninvite him. Mr. Holloway says it isn't his fault. Kanla couldn't stick to the black tie as requested, and he doesn't remember having a second son. Irene, Mr. Holloway's wife, is trying to calm the two Holloway men down, but they refuse to listen. Demi retorts that Kanla is a free spirit and he should let be with his style. Mr. Holloway chuckles as he says, although Kanla is free-spirited, he's quite original, but he can only wait for the so-called business to fall. Hearing this from his father, Demi leaves the party. Mbali is telling a man off just as Kanla enters the bar she's sitting in. The man refuses to listen and she empties her drink on him. The man wants to do something drastic, but Kanla quickly steps in to save the day. He pushes the man away and sends him off. Mbali thanks him for the help she didn't ask for and Kanla smiles. He tries raising her up, but Mbali isn't moved. Kanla finally relents, seeing that his gender has ruined her mood. He asks her if there's something she is waiting for. Mbali replies that she wants to eat and she's waiting for Mr. Jones, her driver. Kanla says he got a ride and he can drive her instead of her waiting. Kanla and Mbali find a spot to share the suya Mbali bought. Kanla jokingly asks if this is what a big babe like her would offer him, and Mbali replies that he's in luck that her favorite booker has closed. If not, he would be eating amala by now. Kanla laughs and they talk even more about their lives and family. Kanla reveals that his father died when he was a child and he lost his mother to cancer when he was 15. Mbali sympathizes with him as she mentions she also lost her parents as a child. They are deep into conversation when Jones calls Mbali that he is around. Mbali hurriedly stands up before Kanla can even ask for her name, phone number or address. She promises they will see later though, which makes Kanla wonder how. Demi opens the door to his apartment to see Nadia standing outside. He asks her what she's looking for and she replies she only came to spend one night. She continues to plead with him until she stylishly pushed past him into the house. The next morning, Demi is reminding Nadia she only promised one night as they are sitting in the bathtub together. Nadia says she changed her mind and she wants him now. Demi tells her he's emotionally unavailable and she deserves better. She should also put cameras around Chike's house. Demi sits in a coffee shop waiting for Yinka. He talks rapidly on the phone about about how he wants Ira to wear their clothes, and the recipient of the call should make sure of that. Mbali, who is sitting in a corner watching him, finally speaks up when he ends the call. She tells him he could simply reach out to Aya's manager. He's a cool guy. Demi is surprised at her and mentions she must know him to talk about him so familiarly. Mbali smiles as she offers more advice in case he doesn't get Aya to wear his brand. Demi nods absently and tries to get his card from his jacket pocket. By the time he turns back, Mbali is gone. Demi goes to see Yinka to discuss the prospective investors. Yinka tells Demi he has been able to secure funds from his father on the basis that the company joins the Holloway Group in 5 years' time. Demi immediately refuses. He tells Yinka he's not interested and that he will now see prospective business consultants who can help them raise money for their business. Yinka comes to Demi at his office this time. He urges him to consider his father's offer, but Demi is adamant. Yinka tells him he sees no harm in it as he will inherit the Holloway Group one day. So why doesn't he start now? Kala walks in on them talking and he and Yinka share pleasantries. Yinka stands up to leave with the promise of sending business consultants soon. Kala guesses that Yinka has come to beg Demi to take his father's money. Kala says it might just be a good idea and Demi should think about it, but Demi shuts him up immediately. Kala and Demi are interviewing business consultants and they have not been impressed by what they are seeing. Kala muses that it is a wonder that the people here are vetted. Time is fast spent when Mbali comes in. Kala and Demi recognize her immediately and they are both surprised they know her. Demi wastes no time getting into business and Mbali blows them away with what she gives out. She definitely knows her stuff. Kala wants to hire her immediately, but Demi interrupts that they will have to think about it and get back to her. Kala goes home to sulk as he plays a video game. He cannot believe Demi pushed his opinion aside. Demi comes home and joins him to play the video game. He apologizes for what happened earlier and Kala asks if he likes Mbali. Demi says he does, but he doesn't know her. Kala says she's a girl he met at the bar the other night he told him about. Demi asks if he likes Mbali too, and Kala retorts that it won't matter because she will be working with them and it won't be good to like someone you're working with. Demi agrees that it is true. Mbali starts working with Demi and Kala. She mentions to Demi that it would be nice for them to shorten the name of the brand to something cool and that will fit into the international space. Demi asks if she has any ideas on what they could use and she tells them she will keep thinking. Demi asks if they could talk more about this over lunch and Mbali agrees. Kala manages to steal Mbali's business card from Demi's office. He flirts his way into her inbox and asks her how her first week was and other stuff to keep the conversation going. He also asks what she plans to do for the weekend and Mbali types that she's thinking of dancing. Kala asks if it will be a date if he comes with her and Mbali doesn't give a reply. Mbali goes to lunch with Demi. She invites Demi to eat the weird combination of pounded yam and ewedu. Demi is quite reluctant at first, but Mbali's steady encouragement. He eats it and is surprised at how wonderful it tastes. Mbali mentions the name she got for the brand, Deccan. Demi asks how she got that and she casually mentions that she and Kala fixed it. Mbali goes dancing with Kala too and they both have a nice time. Mbali also invites Demi and Kala to an auction one of her clients is hosting. She tells them they are there to impress and Demi assures her that is what they will do. Mbali also informs them that she needs a dress. This information causes trouble in the tailor's corner as Rashid is no longer finding it funny and complains bitterly. They attend the art gallery and Kala makes an expensive purchase worth 10 million naira to impress Mbali. At the close of work, Demi invites Mbali to an art gallery he wants to attend that evening. Mbali asks about his other women and Demi says he's only asking her. Mbali says she will go with him but she needs a dress. They attend the art gallery and Demi tells Mbali Kala is like a brother to him and she feels something for him. She should let him know. Mbali replies that she loves Kala but as a brother. Everything is going smoothly until they meet Demi's father and his wife Irene. Demi greets Irene in French and introduces Mbali to them. Mbali impresses Irene by speaking some French too and Mr. Holloway is also impressed. Mr. Holloway asks what Demi is doing by not taking some money from him for business and things start to get heated. Demi walks away from them and Irene runs after him, leaving Mr. Holloway and Mbali. Irene finally catches up with him and tells him how much his father loves him and he's just trying to help. Demi refuses to believe, but there's little Irene can say until Mbali finds them. She charges Mbali to take care of him and Mbali promises that she will. When Mbali and Demi leave the art gallery, she tells Demi she wants them to keep their affair secret from Kala till at least they have gotten an investor. Mbali goes to spend time with Kala in his house for the weekend and Kala asks if she has any feelings for Demi because he would understand. But Mbali shuts him up with a kiss. She only has one request, that they keep their affair secret until they have chosen an investor. Superintendent Zainab and Chidi have finally found out who Catherine is. Superintendent Zainab is excited and tells Chidi to immediately keep watch of her movement so she can lead them to Chief. Mbali starts to date two brothers living and working together. They hang out in hotels and restaurants and neither of them brings her home. Mbali sets up a meeting with her choice of the investor, Mr. Vincent, and Yinka is also present. Mr. Vincent is willing to invest in Deccan if they give him 25% of their shares. Demi and Kanla are surprised to hear this, and Mr. Vincent assures them that it is how confident he is in their brand he wants to take out of their shares. Yinka expresses his discomfort with the request of Mr. Vincent when he has gone and pleads with Demi and Kanla to let him look into the company before they sign the agreement. Chief is getting impatient with Mbali. She summons her and tells her how impatient her clients are getting. Mbali asks why Chief would take their shares and why can't they just use them to launder money as usual. Chief is shocked at Mbali's audacity. She asks if she's already in love with the boys and Mbali shakingly replies that she's not. Then the chief warns her it is best she gets them in order quickly. Mbali arranges for Demi to meet her while she's with Kanla. Demi and Kanla are shocked to see each other and they put two and two together to realize that Mbali was playing with them. Demi gets home to see the superintendent, Zainab, and her officers have broken into their home. Kanla is also with them at the table and Superintendent Zainab explains to them how Mbali is working with Chief and their brand is in danger. It's hard for them to believe, but when Zainab opens their eyes, they have no choice but to see. Demi and Kanla apologize to each other and promise to get their pound of flesh off Mbali. First, they tell her they can only give Mr. Vincent 10% of their shares and they will sign the agreement after their fashion show. Mbali gets back to Chief with this and she has no choice but to agree. After the show, Mr. Vincent meets with Demi to agree on the 10%, but Demi says he regrets telling him this, but they have changed their minds and they can only part with 5%. Mr. Vincent concludes Demi isn't serious, but Demi begs that they are serious and he should please give it a thought. Chief gets impatient and kidnaps Demi, Kanla, and Dupe. She orders them to sign away 50% of their brand, else she will kill Dupe. They immediately agree, and just as they are about to sign, the police arrive. They arrest Chief and her gang and also free Dupe, Demi, and Kanla. Dupe and Demi do a video call to Mr. Holloway, who is shocked to hear all this happen. He apologizes to Demi for not being there for him and tells him how proud he is of his brand. He also says this calls for a family vacation that includes Kanla too, because Kanla is family. Kanla, who is sitting by the side, hears this and thanks him. Mbali thanks Demi and Kanla for coming to see her at the restaurant as she has requested. Demi tells her she has only 10 minutes and she replies that is all she needs. She tells them how she was working for Chief and how she has no choice but to play them. Kanla asks her if she's free now and she replies that she is serving time by working with the Financial Crimes Commission. She thanks them again and stands up to leave, but they stop her with a question if she wants to choose between who it will be. Mbali doesn't give a definite answer as she winks and says, of course, you know, before walking away, leaving Demi and Kanla to fight over who between them she would choose.